So you just got yourself a brand new library effect for DaVinci Resolve. This effect, whenever you go to use it, the defaults that the designer set up in it are so different from the way you use it that you wind up having to spend a fair amount of time every video you use it on to change it. And then if you're using it multiple times, you got to change it every time. Why is there no easy way to save those differences? Well, today I'm going to show you how to do just that. Let's get started. My name is Dave, and this is Fuzzee Tutorials. Welcome to our first episode of DaVinci Elements. So we're going to teach you a very basic element of workflow with your DaVinci timeline. This is for when you're using an actual effect. So if you look over here, you can see we're under effects, and then we've got some ones that I have done. Now this is part of what I'm talking about, how to do this. We're going to show you how to make this extra thing here. Okay, so first let's show you what we're talking about. So here's an effect that works on an adjustment clip. So you stick an adjustment clip over your footage, you drag on my zoomy tool, and you get this zoom. Now you can go in here, you can go into effects, you can make all these changes, you can change colors, line thicknesses. These are your main settings you're using every time. But if you have to go and change this every time you use it, other than the normal stuff, you're costing yourself a lot of extra time. So if you look at this one, see, this is different. We've got a different thickness, different color. It's darker in the background now. It's dimming it down more. Now this doesn't really take that much to do, so it's not a big deal for this tool. But let me show you another example. Here's a tool I designed for doing end screens. This just automatically creates your little inset feature here. You'll notice that this is all quite different. And then we've got basically the same tool here. So this has been modified for the videos I do for this particular client. Instead of having to make all of these changes, so when you're doing all of these, that's quite a lot of work. If you're using this every video, granted, a tool like this you're only using once in a video, but that's still adding quite a bit of work to the end of it. There is a way that you can deal with this. So let's just pretend that you've started with this one here and you've gone and made all your changes and you've now got it to this. So let's say we maybe want to go in and there we go. So now we got it just perfect. So what you do is, while you're in your effects area here, to be able to make your adjustments, you scroll up to the top and you've got this little wand over here. So we click on this wand, and that actually takes us into the Fusion effect for this. So now we take this particular node, which is what's doing all the work, and we can just right click on that and click on copy, or Control C on Windows, Command C on Mac. We can bring up a text editor. So this is a little programming text editor I like called Notepad++. So we're just going to make a new one here, and then we're going to paste. So what this has done is it's pasted the code that goes behind these tools, but it's posted it with all the changes. So now you can just hit Control S to save, give it a location. So I just called it sample end screen settings setting. So now let me show you how to do the actual switch. So you've done that, you've got it saved. So now you've got this tool that you want to swap that out for. Well, this is one way you can do it. So we hit that wand again, we go into here, and all we do is we delete that, and then we go grab this tool. So just remember where we saved it. Okay, so here we go, here's our setting file. So we just drag that in, and then we put it in between those two nodes. And there you go. So now we know that this works. So the next step with this, we can go back to the edit page. Normally you would close Resolve for this, but I've already done this, but I'm just going to show you how to do it. You would take these setting changes that you've saved off, and what we need is a default structure. So I've got one created here, Blackmagic Design. So I've got a blank structure for Fusion packages. So you can do this anywhere, and all you have to do is put in this structure. So you've got an edit folder. And then inside that, you've got effects, generators, titles, and transitions. And now in this case, it's an effect. So we're going to put this in effects. And then you're going to create another folder that's the same name as the one that you're using these tools from. So if it's one of my tools, then you would make the directory called Fuzzee D. If it's Patrick Sterling's, then you might use Patrick Sterling or whatever name he used for his folder. So you would recreate that here. Then you would just put this setting file in here. Now, we made one called sample end screen settings. In my case, I called it this because this is for my client. So then once you've got that file in place, you just back out to where it says edit. You would just right click on that and you would create a zip file. So in my case, it's add to archive. So it'll do that. Now you see you got this zip file. So all you do is you rename this zip file. So, and then we change the extension from zip to DRFX. And it's gonna say, hey, don't change it, but you're gonna confirm, yeah, change it, please. Okay, so now all you would do is you would double click on this and it'll automatically install that to Resolve. Now, since I've already got it in there, I'm not gonna do this because I don't wanna clutter my interface. So I'm just gonna delete that. But basically, it's this one right here, the LL custom end screens. That's the one, it's the same tool, just modified for my client. And with that being in now right here in that folder, you've now got this modified tool with everything saved that you can quickly drag into any project. And if it's a tool you're using multiple times a project, this is a huge time saver. That's your first DaVinci element brought to you today. If you enjoy what we're doing, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell, and maybe drop us a like. Thanks for hanging out with us today. We'll see you on the next Elements. Bye for now.